fruit.
That's what happens.
We're back on Sports 225. I'm Lee Feinswag, my guest, Joe Alleva, the LSU athletic director, who not only is fun for me to talk to, but a lifesaver in all this because, I'm truly indebted for us working through our scheduling snafus and you being here.
It's no problem.
But it means a lot to me and the show to be able to talk to you because, you're such an important figure in LSU athletics. I mean, duh, he's the athletic director. But I think all the people out there watching who care a lot about LSU and college athletics really appreciate for you to be able to be in an environment where it's not really rushed and, just not a quick snippet of stuff and you can elaborate and talk about things.
Well, I enjoy being with you.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, we were, in the last segment, we were talking about paying athletes. And it gets lost on people, the idea that paying athletes doesn't mean just paying football players or just paying basketball players. And I've used the example, I've talked about it here before, like when my son was on a full basketball scholarship, it still cost me, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a year to help him go to school. And whether it was just for car insurance or buying some new clothes or having some entertainment, this and that. And he was NAIA, so he could have a job even like in the off season. Your athletes at the NCAA Division I level, there are many more restrictions on what they can do. And like you said before, 450 athletes? Let's just say 450 athletes at $100 a month, so $400 a semester, something like that. You could probably figure that number out pretty quick, what that would be a year.
Yeah, no question. It adds up really fast. And, you get into, the thing about, you're right, there are more expenses than just room, board, tuition, books, and for a kid to go to school. But the thing that people don't realize is kids that come from really at-need families, there are ways that they can get extra money. There are Pell Grants that can give kids as much as, I think, $3,500 a year in spending money. We have
I didn't know that.
We have a needy student fund where we actually spend money on young people that come to campus without a sports coat or without dress shoes, and we can buy them some stuff like that, which we're totally within the NCAA rules.
See, I didn't know that. That's good.
So and although a lot of our athletes go to summer school and they're in school all the time, they still can get part-time jobs in the summer. And we try to help them get jobs if they need them. Mm-hmm. There's just, you hit the nail on the head. How much do you pay them? Where do you stop paying them? Do you pay the first string quarterback more than you pay the third string quarterback? I mean, it's just hard. And you're right. Gymnasts and volleyball players and soccer players, they're working just as hard as the football and basketball players. Although they're not generating money for the school per se. Those kids are working just as hard, and they have just as much need as anyone else.
And ultimately, if it comes across, okay, we are going to pay athletes, and it's going to be X amount, and so everybody in the league has to agree to do it. There might be leagues that pay players and leagues that don't, or divisions that pay players and divisions that don't.
Absolutely.
And then can you see a kid decide, well, I'm going to go to State U because I would get $100 a month as compared to this school where I wouldn't?
Well, I think that could happen. Yeah. I really do think that could happen.
Making coaches crazier than they already are. And
creating another competitive imbalance. That would create a tremendous competitive imbalance. Just think if you could pay kids $2,000 or $3,000 a year, and schools in the SEC offered that, and schools in other conferences didn't, it would give us a competitive advantage in getting kids. There's no question.
It goes back to those Big Five conferences I talked about earlier. Ultimately, and whatever the Big East now, and those basketball schools, those conferences and that conference will end up paying athletes, and the others won't, right? Because there's going to be this massive separation. I'm convinced there's going to be 4 divisions or 5 even in the NCAA or whatever it's going to be called.
There might be another division. That's a topic of discussion, where there could be a super division, whatever you want to call it, of Division I, and that's a possibility.
I'll let you finish up this segment with like a really nice softball. Just lob it up there. LSU is one of the few universities where the athletic department is able to make a generous financial donation to the academic side. Yeah. So your one job pays your other job.
Yeah, really. Well, I'm very proud of that. Last year in total, we gave back to the university $12 million, which helped the university significantly, and especially during these tough financial times. We can't do that all the time, but last year we were able to, and And we don't take any student fees, no student fees, and we don't take any state money in athletics. And we were able to give back to the university and really help them out. And so I'm very pleased that we could do that.
I imagine that there are, of the other 12 universities that play at a high level in Louisiana, $12 million probably far exceeds a lot of things for them.
Well, most of those schools in the state of Louisiana are getting subsidized.
Right, with those
Because
student
they're all
fees are
losing,
from-
because they're all losing money
Yeah.
athletically.
And that's a whole other issue for another day, but when is that going to finally hit its breaking point? When those other universities have to say, and that's why I talk about another division, all right, we have to go to a division where you can't tell us how many sports we're going to have. We're going to have 5 sports,
Right.
or whatever.
Oh, it's possible. You know, finances are going to dictate how many sports you can have. There's no question.
We got one short segment left on the show. Can we talk LSU football when we get back?
Sure.
Be a good idea.
Absolutely.
All right, he's LSU Athletic Director Joe Alleva. I'm Lee Feinswag. You are watching Sports 225.